Bet 200,000. Monsieur?
La Chiffre is staring directly at James, showing that he doesn't feel threatened by him. If we're being submissive or passive, we avoid eye contact to appear non-confrontational. However, he does the opposite. He is looking for a confrontation.
High card for dealer position. It's Senor Gallardo. Mr. Kaminovsky is the small blind, $5,000, and Mr. Fukutu, the big blind, $10,000. Well, enjoy the game.
James has his hands together, leaning in with one placed on top of the other. This suggests that he's eager as his proxemics, which is the distance his body is to the stressor, are close to the threat. However, his hands are high, near his face, which would suggest that he's using them as a blockade between himself and the stressor. Blocking is when we use a part of our body, which in this case would be the hands, as a barrier between us and the stressor. James is doing that here.
Four players.
From this shot you can see everyone. 3 people have their hands folded, which is a self-soothing pacifying behavior, indicating that they're nervous about something. And you would need to see if they're doing this before the cards were dealt to see if they have a good hand or not. This is because they may just be generally nervous, as opposed to reacting to a bad hand. 4 people are displaying open body language, which suggests confidence. They aren't blocking. They're not self-soothing, they're confident, and their limbic system, which is the part of the brain that regulates stress, isn't needing to calm the body down. La Chiffre has one hand out and his elbow resting on the table. This to me looks like he's making a conscious decision to keep his arm there. It doesn't look natural. It looks forced, which suggests that La Chiffre is manipulating his own body language.
It's your bet. Check. Check. Bet 50,000.
He appears to have a tell where his mouth twitches, or eye twitches. This is the limbic system trying to release stress, and the fact that he's only started doing it now suggests that it was caused by the cards that were dealt. He also places his finger on his face, which could either be taken as another blocking behavior or as a pacifying behavior. However, there is always the possibility that he could be faking, and this is just a ruse to bait James into upping the stakes and winning more.
Call. Fold. Fold. Heads up. Monsieur Le Chiffre.
Also, Le Chiffre doing that trick with the coins is a bad idea. Fidgeting is one of the biggest tells of a pacifying behavior, and him doing this means that it will be easy to tell if he has a good hand or not. If he suddenly stops doing the trick, or increases the rate at which he does the trick, then you can use that as a reference with his other body language to see if he has a good card hand or not. However, he may know this and might be using it as a tool to appear more stressed to again bait James into upping the stakes. It is super clever and I love these mind games.
Bet 100,000.
Weren't you supposed to enter so the others could see you?
Was I? Forgive me. Good luck, darling.
It's up to you, Monsieur Bond. Monsieur Bond?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the bet? 100,000?
Call.
Hello.
I suppose I don't have to tell you how beautiful you look. Half the people at that table are still watching you. Champagne.
Monsieur le chiffre.
James has now put his hands on the table, showing that he isn't nervous and that he's stopped his blocking behaviour. This suggests that he feels confident that he'll win.
Bet 200,000. Monsieur, you have been called. Sit down, please. A full house to Monsieur le chiffre. Deuce is full of nines. Mr. Bond? Fold.
Send the barman over, please.
When he asks for the man to send the barman over, he briefly smiles. This is a micro-expression, and is not actually a smile at all. James is angry and stressed, but pulls a short smile to not seem out of control of his emotions.
Dry martini.
Oui, monsieur.
Wait. 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quina lily, shake it over rice, and then add a thin slice of lemon peel.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'll have one of those.
So will I. Certainly.
My friend, bring me one as well. Keep the fruit. That's it? Anyone want to play poker now?
Someone's in a hurry.
James looks at the other poker player with a slightly amused face. His forehead is wrinkled and his mouth is showing a slight smile. They are both toying with Le Chiffre.
Would you excuse me?
Well, monsieur, it's up to you.
You taste nice.
I thought we dispensed with covers.
No. We dispensed with one that was of no use and created another that is. Is he watching?
Yes.
Good.
This is me in character, pissed off because you're losing so fast we won't be here past midnight. Oddly, my character's feelings mirror my own.
You know, that's not half bad. I'm going to have to think up a name for that. It was worth it to discover his tell.
What do you mean?
The twitch he has to hide when he bluffs,
Bluffs. You're the best hand.
which he got on the last card. The odds against were 23 to 1, and he'd know that. When he did his first raise, he had nothing. Winning was blind luck.
So there it is. We find out that he was bluffing the whole time, and that the twitch was actually genuine. This reveals that he's actually quite bad at hiding his body language. He has many tells and fidgets with the poker chips, and his mouth or eye twitches. James now knows this and can use it to make him lose a lot of money. I had hoped that Le Chiffre was trying to manipulate James with his body language, but that doesn't appear so. This scene is really tense, and for me as a body language analyst, it's really cool to watch. The quality of acting that is required to accurately pull off an intricate scene where the body language of the character drives the whole story means that nothing can mess up. Every detail must be acted perfectly. Now, I don't play poker, so I have no idea what any of the card stuff means, but the mind games are what makes it so interesting for me. If I was Le Chiffre, I would not be picking up those chips, as James now knows that it's a dead giveaway. The same thing with the twitch, although it's far much more difficult to hide that, as it's a micro-expression. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content, and head over to my Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further. Thanks for watching.